snap it, and it's Trey Burton who throws caught. Foles, touchdown.
Here he goes. It's Hester inside the 30. Hester's going to take it all the way for a touchdown.
Fields stumbling, trying to cut it back. Justin Fields making magic happen. There goes Fields. Touchdown.
Hurts on first down, fires downfield. It's Deshaun Jackson back in the lineup. Missed the last 7 games, and he will take it 81 yards. A somersault into the end zone. His first touchdown of the season.
You're listening to the Pigskin Project, the world's #1 football podcast. Now, with more insights on all things football, here are your hosts, Ben Hansen and Ryan Matthews.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 37th episode. 37 already. I mean, I feel like it just gets more and more unbelievable. But anyways, we have a lot planned. I promise you, I'm doing everything I can to get some pretty cool guests on sooner rather than later. Stay on standby. And I want to say this too. Before I bring in my co-host here, I want to say if you have heard me on Regional Radio Sports Network and you are tuning in following our weekly broadcast, I appreciate it. Thank you very much for coming in, and shout out to Vince for giving us a shout out, because I know we're pretty much doing that on a weekly basis now. But Ben, my co-host, Ben Hansen, the awesome, amazing, knowledgeable co-host that I have. Ben, how are you doing?
I appreciate the hype. You're really making me look good to any new listeners we have tuning in. No, I'm doing pretty good. Today started off awful. If you follow me on Twitter, you know why.
What happened?
I'll get into it. I'll get into it on Gridiron Goofs, because I know people here to tune in for football. But if you guys are real ones and just want to know why my day was awful, just tune in and stay until the end to hear me just get angry. But for the rest of it, the rest of the day, it's been good. How about yourself?
Somewhat stressful. I mean, I don't want to dive too deep and just totally unpack everything, but yeah, I mean, it's a little stressful. Work. Found out my car is not going in the shop after being rear-ended.
It's not.
Because of something going on with insurance that I'm not going to be dealing with. So that's a lot of fun. Nobody listening here really cares about that. But anyways, no, but what I want to hint on, just because this is kind of in the topic as far as my mental goes for the past couple weeks now. I will not be on the podcast here in a couple weeks. So not next week, but the week after that. I will not be on the podcast, so we are calling in our kind of safety cushion in Matt to come in and kind of save us there. That way you're not by yourself and everything, as always. But, all together, I think we're going to be fine there. So I'm overall just looking forward to a time to where I can breathe for a minute. And because, I mean, Ben, I'll be honest with you, and I know that we've talked about this before, but man, I put a lot on my plate, and I feel like I manage it pretty well. But sometimes you just need to kind of step back and look at your surroundings,
Yeah, step back and just relax for a second and pull yourself out of it, enjoy yourself a little bit.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, man, did we enjoy ourselves this week. We had a lot of things going on in the football world. Lots of injuries, unfortunately, lots of news regarding that, but nonetheless, let's go ahead and get into our weekly recap. Overall, let's just go over the scores as we always do. Browns beat the Steelers 29-17. Bills beat the Dolphins 21-19. Bengals beat the Jets, 27-12. Titans beat the Raiders 24-22. Panthers beat the Saints 22-14. Ravens beat the Patriots 37-26. Vikings beat the Lions 28-24. Eagles beat the Commanders 24-8. Colts beat the Chiefs 20-17. Bears beat the Texans 23-20. Jaguars beat the Chargers 38-10. Rams beat the Cardinals 20-12. Packers beat the Buccaneers 14-12. That was a sleeper. Falcons beat the Seahawks 27-23. Broncos beat the 49ers in another sleeper 11-10. And then the Cowboys beat the Giants, in which I think was a sleeper as well. The game was terrible, but 23-16, just to kind of round out our week. Overall, there were a few games there that were really, really low scoring, but I think what we need to get into is our week 3 overreactions, just because I feel like a lot of people are doing that right now.
I'm going to be honest. I did pretty well on my scoring for this week. Not to my own about time I do something well. Both of my upset teams hit it. That feels good. I'm 100%. Well, from last week. But as for me, I feel like the state of the NFL is kind of what I thought outside of Jimmy Garoppolo. And I know it's his first game, like starting his stuff, but it was funny because last week on this exact segment when we were talking about overreactions, we were talking about how the Steelers are a better team with Jimmy, and then he kind of just went out and did not perform well at all.
No,
that whole team just stunk. And as far as just like what we saw this week, it was a shame. And Tom Brady's just not himself anymore.
Dude, it's so weird. Yeah. All right. Well, I want to go ahead and get into mine. The Chiefs. I want to say the Chiefs are in trouble. But I don't think they are. I've heard a lot of people say that they are, and I just strongly disagree with it. I think that people are very much overreacting. People are saying that the Ravens defense it's overrated. And to be completely honest with you, I can kind of agree with that as of right now. I feel like we definitely overhyped it in the offseason and everything. And I feel like it's just overall could be better, and it will be better down the road. It's just right now not where it needs to be. People are saying the Cowboys are still playoff contenders, and I'm not going to lie to you. I'm starting to kind of believe that. Cooper Rush is kind of filling that hole pretty well. I think that he's actually kind of doing his job pretty solid.
He's doing better than Dak did.
Yeah, and so, it makes me wonder, maybe Dak was kind of dealing with some stuff, or maybe, he was just off his game, whatever. I'm excited to see what this Cowboys team can do when they do come back. Another one that I heard was the 49ers should be worried about Jimmy G. I strongly advise against thinking this way, because you got to think this man did not think he was going to be on the team as of maybe a month ago. He very much thought, probably we'll probably get traded at some point. But the thing is, he didn't show up to training camp. He didn't go over any team meetings or anything like that until his contract was restructured and reconstructed and everything. And he was totally, back on the team pretty much, and then that's when he got reintroduced. Unfortunately, Trey Lance got injured in week 2, and then he made his first start in week 3 after stepping in. But even he looked like a little startled and everything in the beginning. But I feel like he just needs to get some time to kind of settle back into where he was to finish the season. And the 49ers aren't in a bad spot outside of the injuries, which I think are a big problem. But the one that I want to talk about the most.
Yeah, I was hoping we were going to get to this.
The Bears need something to go right with their quarterback position.
Let me ask you, at what point as a Bears fan can you see this? Let's say 6 weeks. Let's say in week 6, 2 weeks from now, this is still playing. At what point in the season, if Justin Fields continue to play like this, do you push the panic button?
I'm not pushing the panic button this season.
At all. So if you played like this every single week, you wouldn't be like, let's draft a new guy?
I'm not drafting a new guy yet. He's only in his second season, and the thing is, he hasn't played a full season as a starting quarterback yet.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have a full thing under his belt. You look at Trevor Lawrence, he started the whole season last year. And by God, does he look good? I'll be completely honest with you. He looks really good. You called it. I'll give you your props. Congratulations. But the thing is, he hasn't. I think Justin Fields has just made his 13th start in the NFL. With that being said, he hasn't played a full season yet. Not only that, so he had a stupid head coach in his first season where he didn't get straightened out with his chemistry, and he wasn't schemed correctly and everything like that. Now you throw him into an offense that doesn't have very much star power. It doesn't have a lot of weapons, and even those weapons keep getting downgraded because of injury. You have Byron Pringle that's out for an extended period. I think he just got put on the IR. I'm not entirely sure if he's out for the year or just a few weeks, but it's still a concern because that was the biggest wide receiver news that you heard from the Bears all season or off season. You have Equinemius St. Brown that's been doing a phenomenal job. But the thing is, when you're only throwing the ball a certain amount of times, I don't have the exact number in the game, but the thing is, if you're not utilizing your quarterback correctly, he is going to get a confidence hit, because the thing is you tell him you're going to lead the team, but when you tell him you're leading the team and you just hand him the ball just to hand it off to another guy, like, you're not allowing him to do his job. And for that, I think it can definitely mess with somebody's mental if you're not scheming him correctly. I mean, like, you scheme him correctly all off season, okay? For the preseason, you're thinking of training camp where he's scrambling out, doing a lot of passing throws. I can speak from experience. During training camp, he was throwing a lot during the drills when they were scrimmaging and stuff like that. I mean, he had plenty of potential to be able to go and make these plays in games. You saw it in the preseason where we were like, wow, like, look at this Bears and Browns game where they were moving the ball very well against the defense. Whether it's preseason or not, the offense was working. Now you're seeing a completely different transformed offense that doesn't look like the one that you ran in the preseason as far as play action, as far as Justin Fields in the shotgun, Justin Fields in the single back in certain situations. I'm not going to go back to it too much, but the thing is, when it comes to certain play calling and you put your quarterback in the shotgun on less than 1 yard line, you have to worry a little bit more about the play calling than you do your quarterback, because the quarterback can't do his job.
Yeah.
He didn't. Okay, and I will say this. He's struggling with making certain reads. He's struggling with a little bit of ball positioning. But the thing is, before this previous week, I don't see this as too much of a bad option. And one of the things that I was talking, I think, who was I talking to? Oh, yes. I was talking to my coworker at T-Mobile, and he was just saying, like, look, man, you have Justin Fields that was a crazy good, talented quarterback, Heisman candidate in college, and he was very good at Ohio State. He had several different weapons, wide receivers. He had a great offensive line. He had a great defense to back him up as well. You throw him into a situation like Chicago, right, where they have a struggling head coach that sucks at playing or making play calls, to the point to where the veterans on the bench, Andy Dalton and Nick Foles, that were both in playoff and Super Bowl winning situations, saying, hey man, these plays aren't working. Like, your offense just doesn't work. So you have those two things. You're not going to figure out your chemistry, and then the next head coaching staff is a defensive head coach that isn't even directly correlated to what your position does. That's why I'm more so worried about how the Bears are doing it. And if you look into it too, as far as their, let's think of, Matt Eberflus, right? So I've been looking at different press conferences and things to be like, what is our head coach thinking right now? Because clearly the passing game has to be something that they focused on, because I think they threw the ball a little bit more than they did against Green Bay and San Francisco. And he said, look, at the end of the day, we're going to scheme and we're going to switch up our game plan based off of what it's going to take to win. And as of right now, it's working to a certain extent. They just didn't beat their rival that was clearly better than them. I mean, I hate to say it as a Bears fan. People watching this that, see the post on Facebook and everything can totally think that I'm a psychopath for saying this. Being unbiased, the Packers are a way better team than we are as far as built. Romeo Doubs. He's looking like a mid to late round draft pick steal, and it's just scary because the Packers look like they can do that a lot. So then you look at Alan Lazard. When he's healthy, he's still a deep threat downfield, and then you have Christian Watson that was wide open, could create separation, and just so happens to drop a pass against us. Like, there's several different things that the Packers have going right for them, and it starts with the reigning MVP. It's hard to stop that with a rookie head coach and borderline rookie quarterback and awful offensive line and developing defense. The Bears are going to be good in the next 2 years, but it's not going to be this year.
No, it
and
is
I
not.
don't think it's going to be fair to consider Justin Fields as a great quarterback or have these high expectations for him in year 2 when he wasn't given the starting opportunity originally.
Yes,
That's my standpoint. I tried not to sound too crazy and biased and everything. I wanted to just make it seem like, look, we don't need to draft a new quarterback. We just need to give him a little more opportunities and then see what happens. Now, here's the thing. I will say this. If we begin throwing more and Justin Fields looks like trash, that's when I start to wonder, maybe, is he not the guy? But as of right now, seeing what he's done in Chicago, seeing how people love him, seeing how the coaching staff the GM prioritized the coaching staff around him, the front office, it matters to them too. I don't know. I'll let you talk now.
Yeah, and I'll let you get a sip of water. But just one thing, my like the biggest concern that I see out of that, I mean, directly comes off of the point that you just tried to finish. You just said, I'm going to start getting concerned when we start throwing the ball more and he's not looking good. But as you just said, you guys threw the ball the most this game as you guys did the last 2 games beforehand, and he looked even worse. Like, he threw 2 interceptions, didn't have a good completion rate. And that's my concern. You guys as Bears fans were clamoring to throw the ball more, and you still probably want to throw the ball even more than what you guys just did this past weekend. But my thing is like, as an outside fan watching in, it would be tough for me to imagine having to sit back and all I want to see is passing, and then have my quarterback just not play good at all, and then having to sit through that for a whole year. And I'm not saying it will happen. I'm not going to say he's going to do this all year, but I'm saying that, if he doesn't play good this year, you guys just got to get rid of him. Because as a fan, sitting back and watching him play like that all season long and being like, yeah, no, we have a top 10 pick, top 5 pick, and CJ Stroud and Bryce Young are on the board, but we'll stick with the guy who throws 2 interceptions a game. So it's tough.
The thing is,
it's an outside person looking in.
Yeah, and I understand that, just because it's why wouldn't you pull that trigger? But you're also thinking about this, right? So you're bringing a guy in. Okay, this guy just got done playing a full, let's say season and a half.
Yeah.
Right. And you're going to bring in another guy that hasn't gotten any kind of professional.
Yeah.
Well, not saying that he's not going to adapt very well, but I'm just saying we've hardly given this guy a chance. Let's bring in this other guy. I could understand, maybe, depending on the situation, look at Jimmy Garoppolo, right?
Yes.
Say that the Bears bring him in on a cheap contract. Let's say that they let him start for a little bit, and let Justin Fields develop with some starters and see if he pans out in practice or not. If he doesn't look good in practice, okay, we have Jimmy Garoppolo. If not, hey, guess what? We have Justin Fields and he looks just fine. This is his second year, and that's normally the breakout year for star quarterbacks. Either that or year 3 with Josh Allen. But it's, I don't know. I'll let you.
That
the Josh Allen comparison.
Yeah, no, that drives me crazy, and it's not just Bears fans. It's any team with a bad QB whose QB hasn't been playing well, they're always well, look at so and so's bust stats to Josh Allen. He'll be the next. I know that's not what you're trying, but it drives me crazy, because most of the time at the end of year 2 is when it's time to decide. And again, I feel like it would be very, very hard to sit back and be like, this guy throws 2 interceptions a game. We're still not going to take, the 2 guys that I just named. I don't know.
Okay. So let's look at it, right? So, I mean, I guess you could throw 2018 out the window because that Mitch Trubisky did pretty solid in 2018, right? Or no, 2017 Mitch was okay. 2018 Mitch was pretty decent. Let's look at 2019, right? 2020, because after 2019 people started having doubts about Mitch Trubisky, right?
Yeah.
So the Bears, let me look and see what draft pick they had.
You guys had 3 and you traded up to 2 to get him.
I'm trying to see for the 2020 NFL draft what selection the Bears had. I think they only had a second round pick.
For what draft?
They had a second round pick. Okay, so that I understand. But there was only, let's see. So you had Justin Herbert, Tua, and Joe Burrow drafted in the first round along with Jordan Love. I love that pick. Anyways, but the Bears picked Jalen Johnson over Jalen Hurts. Think about this for a second. And you could even think about it too, because I love Jalen Hurts. I love
and if I hear what you're about to say, like, finish your statement.
What I was going to say is it's clear that fans turn on the quarterback before the franchise does. The franchise clearly wanted to stick with Mitch Trubisky. Otherwise, they would have drafted Jalen Hurts over Jalen Johnson.
And look how that turned out, though.
And Jalen Johnson's a great player. I love Jalen Johnson. I'm not saying that was a bad pick. But what I'm saying is they didn't think about quarterback this whole draft. They didn't draft quarterback because they picked Jalen Johnson.
Turn out well, though.
Travis Gibson, Kendall Vildor, Darnell Mooney, Arlington Hambright, and Lachavious Simmons. So, like, those were the draft picks. My point is, I'm not saying that it's a good thing. I'm not saying that they did it right because they finally picked a quarterback in 2021. My thing is, it took them, because they picked Mitch in 2017. They left him alone in 2018. They left it alone in 2019. And then in 2020, they left it alone for 2 more years. They let him develop for 2 more years after his one good start. And Justin Fields hasn't even been given that one good start yet. So what I'm saying is, not that it's the right move. Not that I'm saying that it's the right move. I'm just saying, what makes you think that the Chicago Bears are confident enough as a franchise, as a front office, to think, hey, maybe this isn't the guy, instead of, hey, let's let this guy develop just a little bit more in our system, and let's pass up on potential Hall of Famers. You know what I mean?
So what I'm hearing from you is Poles should take a lesson from Pace and start GMing like Pace did.
No, what I'm saying is, Fields is going to get more of a chance than people like, and it's going to drive you crazy because
it won't drive me crazy. I'll be happy.
Well, right. I'm just saying, like, because people think like the Bears should be drafting a quarterback, blah blah blah.
They should be.
I think that's an overreaction, though, because obviously wide receiver is a need. Obviously, offensive line is a need. Obviously, you need to upgrade that defensive line a little bit more. If Kyler Gordon doesn't pan out, you need another piece in your secondary. I'm just saying, like, maybe it's a little too early on Kyler Gordon too. But, like, I'm just saying.
After 3 games, I would hope you guys aren't making your decision based on him.
Yeah, right. I'm just saying, like, you might think about bringing those guys in the first round instead of a quarterback because it might be bigger of a need when you haven't given him much of a chance. So I'm just saying, I'm not concerned just yet. Give him a little bit more of a chance. And then after that, reassess him.
And at the end of the day, I think he'll be fine. But again, my thing is if he continues playing like this, and if he continues playing the way that he is playing, and obviously it's a dangerous thing to do. I'm not saying that this is going to happen, but like if he plays like this and you stretch this 3-game sample size across the 17-week season, he's throwing 11.5 touchdowns and 23 interceptions on a 51 completion percentage and a 50 QBR. That's awful. And that's what I'm saying. So like if he continues playing like this for the whole season, you can't, like, no fan base, no GM, like, they should be fired if they justify keeping a dude that threw
I'm
12
so
touchdowns
happy.
and 23 interceptions over a CJ Stroud, Bryce Young, Will Levis.
Okay, but the Bears have been mediocre for how long? And the McCaskies are okay with that because they're still rolling in money anyway. So I don't know. You could take that as a joke, but I promise you. Anyways, let's move on because we've been spending here, a little
Hold
too
on.
long.
One more thing. Eagles are the best team in the NFC right now. It's
They
not
look
really.
so
It's
good.
not particularly close. It's not. And this might come back and bite me in the butt. And the Rams might be the team we thought they were going to be at the beginning of the season. But
Dude.
there's not a team in the NFC that concerns me. There's not. I've been a little lower on the Packers than consensus, not as low as you've been, but a little lower on the Packers than consensus. My only concern was the Niners, but they didn't play well at all. So there's not really a team, and obviously this won't be the case at the end of the season.
Yeah.
But if the playoffs started right now, I'm like, wrap it up. Eagles are going to the freaking Super Bowl.
Yeah. No, it looks good. I'll be honest for you. If the Bears don't make the playoffs as a squeeze-in wild card spot, then I am 1,000% rooting for your Eagles just for the sheer fact of, this is my buddy and I want him to succeed. I would love to see you lose your mind over an Eagles Super Bowl. That'd be awesome. I would live
cried when
through
we won
you.
it.
Oh, dude, yeah. No, I remember when the Cubs won, that was crazy. But yeah, I don't know. I would love for the Eagles to win a Super Bowl in your case. And then I would love for you to also root on my Bears as we go through this rebuilding process. But
Ryan and Ben bring you weekly news.
all right, so weekly news. Just gonna speed run this a little bit because we got a longer show. So the Chargers are placing star pass rusher Joey Bosa on IR. Zach Wilson has been cleared by doctors and will start if things go well in practice. Is it crazy to think that Joe Flacco might get to start this week?
No.
Sterling Shepard is out for the season with an ACL tear. Clay Matthews says his playing days are over. Thank God. Free agent cornerback Xavier Rhodes is visiting with the Bills today. Giants could trade wide receiver Kenny Golladay before the November 1st trade deadline. Now, I want to talk about this. I would like to talk about this.
Yeah.
I don't want Kenny Golladay, but I want to talk to you because I'm hearing that the Bears are active in the free agent and wide receiver trade market. In the coming weeks, the Bears will have made a move. What could potentially happen? We've talked about this a little bit behind the scenes, but I want to know who could be little dark horse options for us. Give me a little bit of hope because this is awful.
So as I've explained to you off air, when it comes to my teams, I'm a pessimistic MFer, okay?
Yeah.
I've put myself through way too much Eagles pain to be optimistic. I'm a pessimistic person. And just from all the moves you guys made of this offseason, I would not count on you guys trading for a number 1/number 2 wide receiver. I think the best case scenario is you guys get a third type receiver, like a Quez Watkins from the Eagles or something, or a Jalen Reagor trade. Obviously, that's not going to happen anymore. But something like that, maybe if this Patriot season goes spiraling, a Devontae Parker, but I find that really, really hard that they do that.
Yeah.
Really, the only move I could see you guys making is Kenny Golladay.
So I just brought up a website called Bear Goggles On. So this is 3 wide receivers the Bears should consider trading for Denzel Mims is one of them.
That's not a good player though. He's been a bust for the Jets. That's what I'm saying.
He hasn't been good, on a team. So he shouldn't cost very much. But
no,
he's similar to Kenny Golladay.
It goes back to the N'Keal Harry thing, the Byron Pringle thing. It's not like he's on that same level as those guys. I don't know.
Chase Claypool.
That we talked about on the podcast. I think I said that without any reporting out there. And I wasn't harping on that, but
yeah.
I'm was the first one to say that. So
yeah,
I can see that happening.
So you could here's the thing. So he struggled in year 2. Pickens looks pretty solid. They're just
that catch was amazing.
Yeah. Next up, Terrace Marshall.
I don't know why the Panthers would do that.
So
Unless you guys
he's only
gave,
22.
Yeah, I mean, I would like, yeah, I'd like that if the Bears could do it, but I don't see it realistically happening.
Right. Let's see. So, I mean, Kenny Galladay keeps popping up and everything like that. And that's one of those where I feel like people are just going to overhype that.
I was a
and
huge
it's just not
Kenny
gonna happen.
Galladay fan when he was with the Lions. Like, I mean, I was on like he's a top 10 wide receiver. Like, I loved Kenny Galladay, and I was really sad when he signed there with the Giants, but I guess it
Right.
turned out real well for me.
More so what I'm thinking is because, I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. I wanted the Bears to sign him because I was like, dude, Kenny Galladay, Allen Robinson, Darnell Mooney, that would have been awesome. And, Allen Robinson was really like striving for it. Like he was like all for it. Like bring him in. And then he signed that crazy deal with New York. And I was like, haha, we dodged a bullet there because, that would be a Ryan Poles contract. So, yeah, I mean, overall, I think that a move is going to be made. I don't think that it's going to be astronomical. I don't think it's going to be one of those DK Metcalf got traded to the Bears. But the thing is, I will be saying that as a joke, like, give me DK or give me Depp. So just expect that. We're not getting DK, but it's going to be something small, just to help out because there's injuries. There's all sorts of things.
It'll be a wide receiver 3. I'm going to be like, you guys aren't getting any. Like, Chase Claypool's probably the best wide receiver that you guys could probably get.
So let's go over, the free agents available right now. Let's see. So give me a second.
There's one guy in the free agent market that I know you're going to point out, but I have
Odell Beckham Jr. is not coming to Chicago.
Yeah, well, even if he does, it'd have to be a 2-year deal. Like, I don't think he signs a 1-year deal this year because he's only going to play the last, like, maybe 3 games of the regular season, and the Bears aren't making the playoffs. So it'd have to be 2 years. Like, it would make no sense for him to sign a 1-year deal to play 3 games.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. All right, as this is loading. Okay. Tracker. Sorry. Super slow. I don't know why it's going. Anyways. Here we go. People are saying like Antonio Brown and everything. It's like, dude, leave him alone. For the love of God, don't let him get his hopes up. Okay. Yeah, no. Odell Beckham Jr., no. They're saying the Packers would be scary, and honestly, I could see that happening just because it's my luck. Hold on a minute. I'm sorry. This is taking forever.
No worries.
For those listening, thanks for tuning in this long. It's already been 30 minutes. Okay, 2022, all position. Let's go wide receiver. Also, can we talk about this for a minute? Cole Kmet he's kind of an issue.
Yeah,
like he's been doing an okay job at best run blocking, but that's okay. All right.
I tried to tell you, buddy, that like at best, Mike Gesicki.
Will Fuller.
I mean, I guess he would be fine, but like he's a Darnell Mooney. That's kind of my issue.
Adam Humphries.
He's a slot guy, and I could see it, but again, I think that's a wide receiver 3.
Let's see.
T.Y. Hilton.
Yeah, no, I don't even want T.Y. Hilton, so I'm not even going to talk about that. I swear to you, I thought that I saw Andy Isabella got cut.
He did.
Why am I like very much interested in Andy Isabella?
Because he's fast.
He's very fast. I mean, if he can cause separation, I'm down. D.D. Westbrook. I mean, like these are all, meh.
Again, wide receiver, like 3 players.
Right. Yeah, no.
Hold on. What is this? I thought I saw that too. But when I look him up, there's like nothing on the internet about it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, he's on the practice squad.
Oh man. Okay. Yeah. So they could just poach him. Anyways.
Yes.
So, anyways, I don't know. That's a little dark horse option. That'd be cool. I like him. Anyways, yeah. So, like we said, they could trade him. Myles Garrett had to be taken to a hospital after being involved in a accident leaving practice. He suffered non-life-threatening injuries. Ladies and gentlemen, he was just swerving, trying to avoid. I want to say it was like an animal in the road.
Yeah, it was an animal.
And he just flipped his car. And this is, guys, this is literally driver's ed. Like, just read the book. I'm just kidding.
Oh, come on.
In all fairness, I'm very happy that that he's safe. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I was just making a joke. It was not the right joke. Anyways, sorry. Yeah, God just took away my ability to speak after that one. Anyways, all right. Chargers left tackle Rashawn Slater suffered a ruptured bicep tendon and is expected to miss the rest of the season. And then Patriots quarterback Mac Jones is also expected to miss time after an ankle injury. So that'll do it for weekly news. Say that again.
Joey Bosa.
Yes, Joey.
He got put on IR.
Yeah, that's what I said. The first thing that I said.
Oh, I thought you said Myles Garrett.
It's been a long week, ladies and gents.
Just when you thought it was safe to play the underdog, we put you on Upset Alert.
All right, so I'm not going to lie to you. As far as this week goes, I don't really have very many upsets.
What? Not like your 6 last week? That's what I'm telling you. Go if you do like 1, 2, or 3. That's a prime number, and you hit both of them, and then people think you're smart at football or something. I think that's how that works.
What do you have for this week?
This week was tough. I'm going to be honest. There are 3, but I'm not like a big fan of any of them.
Yeah.
I have like the Chargers Texans. I think the Texans could upset, not because the Chargers are bad. It's just
because of the injuries.
They have a whole lot of injuries. I think that's an upset. I'm not going to put that in as an upset, but I have 2 different ones. I have the Panthers versus Cardinals. Rooting on the Cardinals' downfall. Let's go Panthers. They looked really good this week. Cardinals are exactly how I thought they were going to look.
Yeah.
But I think the Panthers could upset them, and I'm not just saying that because I'm a Cardinals hater. But then the second upset I have is the Falcons and Browns.
Okay.
The Browns have just really disappointed me. And they would have lost that game if there were a lot of different things that would have lost them that game. They didn't play very well.
While we're on that topic, the Browns are still considered a playoff team in my eyes. Somebody has to say
not until Deshaun comes back.
Yeah, if he comes back and exceeds expectations, then
Yeah.
Is that it for?
Yeah, just Falcons and Browns and Panthers and Cardinals. People watch out for the Chargers game. Not going to put them on upset alert, but the Falcons over the Browns and the Panthers over the Cardinals.
So my 3 are Dolphins and Bengals. I think the Bengals could potentially pull off that.
Yep.
Jaguars and Eagles. Jaguars look really good, man.
So does the Eagles.
Yeah, the Eagles look good. That's going to be a pretty solid matchup. And then Rams and 49ers. I don't know who would be the upset team there. I would say the Rams would be, I guess. So I'm just putting it up there just because I think it's going to be a solid game. But
yeah.
With that being said,
you think you know football? Well, prove it. This is Pigskin Pick'em.
I just want to give another shout out to Vince. Thanks for doing our little voiceovers, man. You're the best. He's a really cool guy, by the way. So
yes, he is. If you guys haven't listened to our episode with him, go back and do that.
Yeah, he wants to come back on, by the way. So maybe, just maybe. Anyways, so Vince, if you're listening, and I know you are, I'm listening to you, and we might be able to make that happen. After week 3, Ben is 10-6. He went 10-6 on the week.
Yeah.
He redeemed himself. Got over 10 wins, 10 correctly predict 10 games correctly.
I predicted more than 10 games correctly.
That's what I meant to say. I went 6-10. This is my worst week, and our overall records, I am 29-18-1, and Ben is 20-23-1. So, hey, you know what? It's all right.
I stand by what I said. If I am above 500 by the end of the year, we're good. Yeah, that's hard, dude. That's hard to do.
It's very hard, yeah. So let's go ahead and do our predictions. So Ben, we are starting off with Dolphins and Bengals in the most visually pleasing matchup of the whole week, probably the whole season. Oh my God, it's gonna be
They're for those who don't know like what we're referring to. There were like designs last year and the last couple of years of like the Bengals, like people making edits on social media, like these white helmets. The Bengals should bust these out. And this year the Bengals finally pulled the trigger, so they're gonna do like this white out like snow Bengal kind of look. It's gonna be clean.
so
I want to say this is a high scoring game. I'm still wondering what Tua's like.
yeah.
I don't know. For those who didn't see it, like I'm surprised they even let this guy back in the game. For those who didn't see it, like he got whiplash hit his head, but then he like stumbled around. I don't know if he's fully there yet. I do have the Dolphins winning this, but I really think this is going to be a close one. I'm going to go 24 or 27-24 Dolphins.
So I have the Dolphins winning 27-17, strictly because Eli Apple's gonna get a big enough bite. Like he can't handle Tyreek Hill, especially after his remarks. Next up, it's the Vikings and the Saints in a London game, 8:30 a.m. Central Time. Nobody's looking forward to getting up that early unless it's for football. So, what did you got, Ben?
Like you took the words out of my mouth. I don't know if I'll even be able to watch this game.
I'll check SportsCenter afterwards.
Exactly, with the way the Vikings have just thrown up stinkers.
Yeah.
I do have the Vikings winning this one. I've had the Saints win the last 2 weeks, and they don't like me. So maybe for Matt, my me switching this up will help the Saints win. But we have the Vikings winning this one. Did we touch on Dalvin Cook getting hurt?
Dalvin Cook did get hurt this season. I didn't, or not this season.
Yep.
Yes, this season, but this week I forgot to mention that.
Yeah, it was
DeAndre Swift as well, but
Yeah.
So what's your score prediction?
But I do have the Vikings winning this one. The previous score that you just said, 27-17.
Okay. I also have the Vikings for pretty much the same exact reasons. The Saints Jameis is a problem, man. He just needs to go and get surgery and sit out. But 23-17 for the Vikings here. Moving on to the noon game, Seahawks going to Detroit.
Yeah, the Lions are winning this one. The Seahawks look awful. Lions, the Lions are going to score a lot of points this weekend.
Yeah,
it'll look good for me, except Amon-Ra St. Brown. But yeah, we'll have them winning like 38 to like 13.
Oh my God!
Again, that's like super unrealistic because the Lions would stop scoring at a certain point. But like the point I'm trying to get across here is I really think this game's going to be a blowout.
Yeah, no, I'm going to go with the Lions as well, but I'm going to go 28-23. I think it's going to be pretty close. Jets going to Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers.
This was one of the hardest games for me to pick. Because we don't know what the Steelers are going to look like with or not the Steelers. We don't know what the Jets are going to look like with Zach Wilson most likely being back. This might be the game that we see Kenny Pickett in. Both teams are remarkable or like just hugely just underwhelming. They're just not good. I have this one just like maybe like a 10-14 Jets. Like this is gonna be our Sunday Night Football that we had last week.
Yeah, I'm actually going Jets as well. This sucks because we've been, stacking up.
I'll change it. You know what? We'll do 10. We'll do 14-10 Steelers just because I don't think this game is going to be fun to watch. I will not watch it.
I'm going 27-13 Jets, and Joe Flacco is going to get the start.
Wow.
Yeah, but Bears and Giants going to New York.
Oh, this is going to be tough. This is tough. I might add, I told you after week 4, like I'm just putting this out here one more time. After week 4, I'm sorry, buddy. The Bears season is it's all downhill after this week. So just brace yourselves.
We'll
for
beat the
bumpy ride.
Patriots. Give me that.
We'll get there when we get there. We'll see. Well, Mac Jones, he got hurt. There were all those memes on the internet about him. We'll have to see how all that goes. But as for this game, Saquon looks really, really good. But that Giants passing, this is tough. Gosh, where is this at?
In New York.
That's going to be my tiebreaker. Yeah, 21-17 Jets. This game I could go either way on. I'm sorry. I got the stadiums mixed up.
Yeah. Fun fact, though, the Bears will go to MetLife for both games. They play the Jets and the Giants both at MetLife this season.
That has to be scary because that turf.
Yeah.
At MetLife, it's what happened to Sterling Shepard is just horrible. But anyways, I have the Giants beating the Bears 21-17. The home game was the advantage. This game could go either way. I wouldn't be surprised with the Bears winning.
I'm going Bears 20-13. Just because
pretty close to my record.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. The Texans, the Colts, or not the Colts, Texans, 49ers, and the Packers all three established a solid passing game, but they also established a solid run game. And the thing is, the Giants don't have both of those. I am not very confident in the Giants' defense, and I think that Fields might have himself a redemption game. However, it's not going to be very high scoring or too much of a redemption game. So,
not like 300 yards like our friend Jake.
It's not going to be like what? I didn't even see that, but it's not going to be like 300 yards, touchdowns everywhere, left and right. No. If it is, I'm going to have fun. As of right now, I'm living it to the actual Chicago Bears football right now. If you can only have a run game, I mean, like Sterling Shepard was their number one guy, pretty much. And if they don't get, what's his name? If they don't get, oh my God, if I could think, Kenny Galladay involved, then it's over. I'm sorry. I think that, I will say the Bears are missing Akeem Hicks a lot this year. So
yes.
But moving on, the Titans and Colts in Indianapolis.
Yeah, see, it's in Indy, but I mean, I have confidence in the Titans. I mean, they looked well this past weekend. Robert Woods is turning on. Treylon Burke is doing better. We saw more from Derrick Henry this past week. Again, not quite the Derrick Henry of the past, but he's looking better than he did the first 2 weeks of the season. We'll have the Colts beating this one in a nail biter. We'll have them beating 24-21 Titans on a last-second field goal. I don't even know who their kicker is now, but
all right. Are you saying the Colts? I'm sorry.
Yeah. The Colts win 24-21.
Okay. I am going to go with the Titans here.
I wanted to go with the Titans.
And I'm going to go 27-13. The Colts are going to be probably that up and down team all season long in my book. Jonathan Taylor doesn't look like Jonathan Taylor just yet. And the way that the run game has looked against the Colts tells me that Derrick Henry should have a field day. So with that being said, next up, Chargers at Texans.
Yep. I think we could see the Austin Eckler breakout game. Austin Eckler has been wildly disappointing this season. We saw what your boy Khalil Herbert did against the Texans. Again, I think this is going to be a fun game to watch. I kind of, again, like I said, I kind of want to call it an upset. We're not going to go that far, but we'll have the Chargers winning 27-21.
All right. I have the Chargers winning 31-20. It's going to be a higher scoring game. There are a couple receivers I'm kind of looking at as of right now that people are kind of sleeping on. But Browns at Falcons.
So I have this team as upset alert, but at the end of the day, I think the Browns are the better team. I'm going to have the Browns winning this game. I'm going to have the Browns winning 30-27. 30 to 14.
I am also going to pick the Browns because Nick Chubb is the number one rushing leader through week 3.
Yeah.
He looks very good, but it's going to be closer than people think, and I'm going Browns 24-20. Next up, the Commanders at Cowboys.
This game was awful. Like you said in the opening, this was also a stinker.
Yeah.
And I mean, the Commanders really just did not look good against the Eagles. But I do have the Commanders winning this one. The Commanders.
Commies.
Yeah. I still really don't have hope in this Cowboys team until we see Dak come back and we can see what this offense looks like with Dak. I'm sorry for Zeke fantasy owners. I'm pretty sure, I don't think anyone lists to this that's in our fantasy circle.
Yeah.
But Zeke's on the waiver wires now.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we'll have the Commanders winning this one. Like 10-21.
All right. Next up, I have the Cowboys 17-13. I'm gonna switch up and I'm gonna pick the Cowboys. Cooper Rush season, baby. If not, Dak Prescott. Jaguars at Eagles. I mean,
God, this game scares me. It's Doug's return to Lincoln Financial's Field. Again, I don't know. I don't think there's any Eagles fans watching this, but Eagles fans, give the dude a standing ovation. I hope you guys don't cheer him like the way you guys cheered Carson, like the way you guys cheered Jalen Reagor. Like, I mean, this dude won a Super Bowl. Let's have some respect. We want to be known as that classy franchise, even though we never will be. But this game scares me a little bit. Like you said, T-Law's making the jump that I kind of thought he would has. But yeah, we'll have the Eagles winning this one. Hopefully we can score a little bit more points in the second half.
Yeah.
We'll have them winning it 35-27.
Okay. I'm picking the Eagles because it's a safe pick. If you've listened to previous episodes, safe picks aren't normally my thing. It kind of sucks, but I'm going with the Eagles, and it's going to be close. I'm going to pick Eagles 28-27 as they get a stop later on, but Doug Peterson's going to have himself a day. Yes. Next up, Bills and Ravens. That's going to be good. I have this game circled. I have this in bright red on my spreadsheet that I have open. I think this is going to be the game of the week. I think we look to see Josh Allen hopefully have this comeback game because he did not do very well. I mean, if Gabe Davis didn't drop that touchdown in the end zone, though, the game would have been a little different. The butt punt was really fun. That was fun to watch. But it turned out to be smart, though.
Yeah, it ended up working for him.
Yeah.
This is tough. I have the Bills written down here as a winner. Like you said, the Ravens defense. Doesn't look as good as what we thought. I mean, the Bills are missing both their starting safeties. Dane Jackson is out. They're starting 2 rookies there at their cornerback position. Their safeties combined have like 4 starts. I really think I just let myself. The Bills are the best route. Yeah, we'll go with the Bills. We just talked myself back in. As Josh Allen will keep these guys in the game. I think this is going to be a high-scoring one again. I'll have them winning 35-30.
I have the Ravens and 28-24 because Lamar is playing MVP candidate season right now.
Absolutely. Comeback player of the year for sure.
Something that was noted too, I forget, I think it was on ESPN, but I could be wrong. It might be NFL Network. People were saying, man, like Lamar Jackson, he's really earning his money, but the thing is, yesterday's price is not today's price with Lamar. He's going to want upwards of around $300 million, and he's going to deserve every single penny of it too.
Oh, yeah.
But the thing is, they should have signed him to that extension worth around what Deshaun Watson has. And I mean, whether or not the market's broken, whatever, Lamar, I think he's going to make his money this offseason, or he's going to play for a different team. It's that simple.
Well, we'll get franchise tagged.
Yeah, but That's going to be an ugly
they are
situation.
stubborn. They are stubborn enough to keep him, not
Yeah.
trade him. I know how the Hardballs roll.
So next up for the 3:05 Central Time games, the Cardinals at Panthers. Oh boy.
Oh boy, I wonder who I'm picking this week. Panthers. Picking the Panthers to win. Panthers by 100.
What? Oh, okay, 99-0.
Yep, 99-0.
We always have that game. I'm picking Cardinals.
Every single game this year. Like
You're picking against the Cardinals?
I'm picking against the Cardinals.
I'm gonna go 30-17 for the Cardinals.
You just wait until the 1 week, then I'm like, I think Kyler Murray's gonna be good.
Yeah.
He'll catch everyone off guard.
And I have Kyler Murray on my fantasy team, and that's the one where he's gonna throw like 6 picks in the same game. Anyways, Broncos at Raiders.
See, when you look at the schedule before the season, you flip to week 4, you see Broncos versus Raiders, and you're like, I mean, this has to be the game of the week, right?
Yeah.
Wrong. We'll get into it a little bit later.
Yeah.
Neither of these teams are inspiring. We're switching it up on the fly. I had the Broncos winning. We're gonna have the Raiders winning, the same score that I predicted, though. We have the Raiders winning 24-20.
I have the Raiders 33-17. So.
Yes.
Patriots at Packers. I'm just gonna go ahead and just say my pick now. It's gonna be the Packers, and it's gonna be Packers 99-0. Nobody cares.
Yeah, no, it'll be Packers. Yeah, it'll be a Packers by 1,000. Again, Mac Jones is out. He's definitely not playing this week.
Yeah.
Probably 7 to 25 or 24. 7 to 24.
If the Patriots beat the Packers, I am no longer on the Bears are beating the Patriots hype train. I'm just going to be like, nope, never mind.
We're going to lose every single game this season.
Fade into the Ivy like Homer Simpson. Sunday Night Football, Chiefs at Buccaneers.
Lord. I don't know, and we won't know what's happening right now with Chris Godwin. I think that game swings it. I do think the Chiefs are going to look to bounce back. The Bucs have disappointed people thus far in the season. For that reason, we have the Bucs going. I think this game is just, like I said, one of those swing games that you go back and forth. I think it's going to be just that close. We'll have them winning 27-28.
All right. And then I am also going with the Buccaneers because the thing is, I'm looking at the injury report right now. And I don't know if you've looked at it or not, but I am seeing – oh, my God, this is horrible. No, you know what? No, I'm switching it up on the fly. And it's not going to be a very high-scoring matchup like I was originally thinking it was going to be, but this Buccaneers team is not who I thought it was. This Chiefs team –
they're looking better than what you thought.
I'm not a believer, and I don't think they're going to be okay. I think they're going to lose in the playoffs, but they will make the playoffs, and they will beat the Buccaneers 21-13 this week.
Wow.
Anyways, without further going into that because it makes me mad, I'm a Chiefs hater. Rams at 49ers Monday Night Football to finish this off.
Rams 27-17. I'm pretty confident in that one.
Ooh, why?
Like I said, Jimmy kind of was – I had more for Jimmy. I thought they were going to do better. And I do think we rated this Rams team high going into that season, and I think hopefully this is going to be the game where stuff starts clicking a little bit more and they kind of get close to that team that we thought. And I wouldn't be surprised if Jimmy throws another bad game.
I'm going 49ers 28-20. Jimmy's going to wrap it up.
Okay.
Put a little bow on top of it. Anyways, that does it for Pigskin Pick'em for this week, which means next up,
another trip to Fantasyland.
All right, so we're just going to kind of breeze through it this week. We don't have a lot of comments or anything like that going on, and I just want to go over a few. Khalil Herbert, because David Montgomery got hurt, so as a result, David Montgomery is a faller. Damian Pierce looked really good this week. I find like he's finally getting his strides. And then Joshua Palmer stepping in pretty solid for the Chargers. And he's currently on my fantasy team. So if you're listening in from our fantasy league, screw you. It's mine. Fallers, Daryl Henderson. I listed him as a riser earlier on. Cam Akers looked pretty decent, and he's stealing some touches from him. So as a result, Daryl Henderson is going down. And then that's really it for me. But I don't know.
Yeah, I've 3 fallers and 3 risers. Start off with the bad news and then a good note. We have Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan is just not the upgrade we all thought he was. We have Scary Terry McLaurin. He's disappointed. He's not produced the way everyone would have hoped. And then someone we've already talked about a little on this podcast, Tom Brady. As far as risers, the first dude that you touched on, Khalil Herbert, he looks like he can be an awesome RB1. You guys are definitely not paying D-Mont this year.
Yeah.
Devontae Smith, dude was awesome. He had 169 yards. He made some awesome catches. If you have him, I think you have to start him at your flexes this game. And then any J.K. Dobbins owner, it's good to see this dude come back. He didn't have this amazing production, but it's his first game back in over 600 days. It's good to see him back on the football field. But just in terms of fantasy, I made a trade this week.
You did, yeah.
Yeah. What was your opinion on that?
I like it for Jonathan, but I also like it for you because there's upside for you. I'm also a little mad because I tried to get Gabe Davis from you and you wouldn't give it to me.
When did you try to get Gabe Davis from me?
Yeah, I wanted Gabe Davis.
When did you try to get him from me?
There was a lot of times.
No, there was the one time after the trade because he was going to be in that Mike Williams trade, but you took a different trade. I don't blame you for taking the other trade.
The God squad of mine doesn't need Gabe Davis. Okay, I'm all right.
All right, bud. If you say
I'm not all that salty about it because John Boy needs some help. Okay.
So for those, obviously none of you would know. I don't know. I said for those who wouldn't know.
Yeah.
I made a trade this week. I traded Gabe Davis and Jeff Wilson to Jonathan for Keenan Allen. I think Keenan Allen can hopefully come back again. I've been kind of riding that hype train that Mike Williams is going to end the season as wide receiver 1. But this kind of gives me good flexibility. And like Keenan Allen is, you know what you're getting in Keenan Allen. The thing about Gabe Davis is he's up and down. He can have like the 25-point games that we saw in week 1. And then he can have the games that we just saw where he, dropped targets or dropped touchdown, dropped catches.
3-point game.
Yeah, he didn't play very well. Meanwhile, Keenan Allen is good. But the reason I like this is when D-Hop comes back, it's going to be great. So I can start I can start 2 of the 3 of Keenan Allen. Sorry, there's something in my eye. Keenan Allen, D-Hop, and now Keenan Allen, D-Hop, and Amon-Ra St. Brown. So I can start one of those 3. Obviously, my 2 starting running backs are JT and Javonte Williams. So now that leaves me in my flex spot to pick between a guy like Elijah Mitchell when he's healthy, a J.K. Dobbins when I'm feeling that he has a good matchup, or I can put that third wide receiver who's not starting there for me. So this is nice, and now I have good depth when it comes to bye weeks. I'm a big fan of the way my roster looks. I think this is championship potential. Definitely not scared about losing, though.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
Jalen Hurts looks like a great pickup.
Let me say this, though. It adds more of a winning factor into my trade with you with Mike Williams. So I will say I'm pretty happy about that. But it was all right. I mean, whatever. But without further ado.
Pro football isn't the only game in town. Let's take a stroll to Ben's College Corner.
Anyways,
yes.
So go for it, buddy. All you.
Yes, thank you. And I'm thinking about adding like a mini segment within this segment that we have here in Ben's College Corner. I've been talking to Matt about this guy off air. I'm kind of thinking about adding like a draft prospect to watch, some guy to keep a name out for that people might not know. As people know, as you know, as our listeners know, that I'm a draft guy year round. Draft is what I do. Don't have to explain that to you guys. But like the draft prospect I have this week, or hopefully he's going to go to the draft, is junior safety out of Boise State, J.L. Skinner. This dude's 6'4", so he's the same height as Kyle Hamilton. He's a little bit smaller. He's 220. But you don't see a guy that's 6'4" and as lengthy as he is run as fast as he does. I think the best comparison to make is a Kyle Hamilton just based off the size. But compared to Kyle Hamilton, this guy's a little bit more rangy because he's a little bit more fast, which is nice. But he's a little bit less physical. He can't go downhill and cause a game-sealing fumble the way Kyle Hamilton does. But I think he's a name to watch out for. I think he's probably my first or second draft crush this year. The one thing that concerns me about him coming to the next level is kind of his placement in the zone. He makes up for that in college right now just because he's quick, but being quick and fast in the NFL doesn't cut it. But in terms of just like the weekly recap, we saw a couple more upsets this week. We saw Texas Tech lose to Texas. Texas just isn't there yet. They're still a young team. Give them some time. Kansas State beating Oklahoma, and this was honestly the big shocker to me this week. Oklahoma looked like they were a team that could contend for the college football playoffs. Brett Venables, is still building something down there, and I thought they were going to be good, but they just lost. And then the other big shocker this week is the Middle Tennessee win over Miami. Miami's quarterback, Tyler Van Dyke, got a lot of hype heading into the season, but in that game, he just did not look like he was ready for the NFL at all. But a game that wasn't quite an upset, but still shocked a lot of people was the USC versus Oregon State. That was just awful. You kind of hoped that USC would have run away with that. And then being a Pac-12 team, it's not completely out of the picture, but seeing something that really hurts their performance to make the college football playoffs. But they didn't lose, which is good. But in another note, you asked me to pick an upset alert, and I picked Wake Forest versus Clemson. That didn't happen, but they turned out to give us the best game we've seen all week. It went into, I think, 4 overtimes. Both QBs looked really good. But just like a shocker, and people probably don't know them, is Stephen F. Austin. I think they might even be D3. They're either D2 or D3. And they put up 98 points and shut out their opponent. That's a basketball score. That's just absurd to me. But then the 3 games that I give you guys each and every week to watch out for is Oklahoma State versus Baylor. These look like the 2 best teams down there in the Big 12. And then a team that just constantly is popping up on this list, Kentucky versus Mississippi or Ole Miss. Kentucky is ranked 7 right now, I think, in the AP poll. They haven't played like 7. They're kind of just getting the luck of the draw when it comes to having an easier schedule. And I think I have Mississippi State written down. I don't know why. It's Ole Miss. I think Ole Miss will be their first true competition that they'll play against. And I think they're going to bust out those blue camo helmets. What are your thoughts on that? Because I know we talked about that the white helmets that the Bengals are busting out, but I mean, this might give them some competition for the best helmet this week.
Dude, it was so good to the points where I was like, wow. Out loud, wow. I don't know. I'm a huge fan of them. And I mean, Matt Corral couldn't wear it. So that's unfortunate.
Yeah, like we said, it was unfortunate seeing that.
Oh my God, man. These things are nice.
Yes, they are. And then just my last game, and then we can move on to the next segment, is Bama versus Arkansas. I think Bama runs away with this, but it's just a fun matchup because it's 2 SEC teams. But I mean, that's kind of the recap for this week. And hopefully I can get you guys another player and can again start this mini segment inside of it for a draft player you guys should watch out for going in to next week.
It's time for America's favorite game, Weddle.
I've practiced.
I hope you have.
I am so tired of losing, and it's just, I mean, you're on a tear, man. Like absolute, just nonstop tear. 10-5. I'm done, man. I'm done losing, and I'm gonna prove it. I'm gonna prove it this week.
It's like beating a dead horse. I said that on last week's episode.
Oh, shut up! All right, Ben, you're 10-5. I don't want to talk about my record, but what are we starting with?
AJ Brown, as we do each and every week.
All right, so he's not a wide receiver. He's in the NFC, shorter than 6'1", older than 25. David Montgomery. Oh, NFC North running back, shorter than 5'11", older than 25. I thought David Montgomery was a little bit older, but his number is higher than 32. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. So next up, you got first or second pick for 21. This is hard mode. For those that haven't listened, why? I'm just kidding. But no, so this is pretty much, I mean, I don't know. If you
this is what the marbles are for. This is so you heard the 10-5 record. This is the one that we actually judge. So
all right. So what you got?
AJ Brown.
NFC East wide receiver, taller than 6'1". He's not on Philly.
I think I know who it is.
So normally it's not okay. No. Michael Gallup. Dang it. That was a good guess, though. Come on now. That was a good guess. So he plays for Dallas. He's in the NFC East. He's a wide receiver. He's taller than 6'1". He's 26.
Can't be Jalen Tolbert. I think I get one guess here. Can't be. I said it can't be. Can't be. Can't be. Can't be. Can't be. Can't be.
Sorry.
It can't be Jalen Tolbert. I think he's too. I don't think it could be this guy. I think this guy's too young. Send me Fehoko. I think he's too young.
How do you
S-I-M-I?
No.
I knew it. He was too young. I know who it is.
Oh, okay. Who is it?
Is it Noah Brown?
Dude.
Yeah.
Dude.
The only reason I know, so my thought process was Semi Fogo. I thought he was a bit too young. The only reason I know AJ Brown is because I get like he has the long hair that hangs, not super long, but the hair that hangs out of the back of the helmet, and he wears 85, and CeeDee Lamb wears 88. So when I see like the 80 and then the hair out of the back, I'm like CeeDee Lamb, and then it's Noah Brown. So I have a cow.
Dude, why are we doing? Where is he at in the depth chart? Where is he at?
He's actually been producing like crazy this year. Oh, like he's Cooper Rush's favorite target. It's not like that. That's why I know him.
Okay.
As far as this season, through 3 games, he has.
He's third on the depth chart. Touche.
Yeah, he has 213 yards.
Screw you, Mike McCarthy.
All right. Boom. What's
the name of the segment? Oh, you're not talking about Ryan and Ben? Oh, okay. Well, hold on. I've got it. It's time for Gridiron Goofs.
All right. So we don't have to talk about that anymore. I'm done.
No, that's you, by the way. I'm pretty sure I get first pick. So I think you went like ketchup or something.
Fall related topics. And last draft, by the way, I dominated according to like a lot of people that listened, and it's because of my late round pick. People were like, "Oh, so mayonnaise has to be like the first overall pick." No.
If you like mayonnaise, you're nasty.
If you really like mayonnaise on like to where it's your number 1 pick, dude, why? Like
that's
hot
fat.
sauce.
You're eating fat.
Hot sauce. Anyways,
Ben, did I get first pick?
Yes, right? And what we're doing here as well, we're doing fall-related topics. So, like, anything that's generally associated with the season of fall, because I'm so excited about fall being here. I
love fall. I think there's a clear 1-2 pick right here.
Yeah.
I'm going to lump a whole category together. If you can lump hot sauce together, I can lump this together.
What is
pumpkin-flavored things.
Okay.
A pumpkin spice, a pumpkin pie, as well. I'm not a very pumpkin flavored person, but like I feel like that's the obvious like pumpkin scented like that's the obvious thing. Like if you don't pick pumpkin for fall, that you're wrong.
I'm going with football.
Yeah.
We're on a football podcast. I was like, no way he doesn't pick football. Anyways.
Well, okay, so the reason I didn't pick football is we have a podcast. I tend to forget that football is not a year-round thing for majority of the individuals.
let me just say this though. So I play in a co-ed softball league. Shout out the Diamond Cutters. I have my jersey laying over there. We are playing this Sunday, and I'm so excited. Anyways,
I thought you guys were like the chili peppers or something.
Yeah, so we were the jalapeno hotties.
That's what it was.
You know what? Hold on a second.
But yeah, no, okay. I want to explain again. It's for someone who runs a podcast and we can't hear you. You're on mute.
What I was saying was
your mic is unplugged. We can hear you, but like through your computer, not through the mic.
I don't know why it switched. Oh no, this is through my AirPod.
Oh, well, there you
guys
go.
Can hear me through this.
Yeah.
Anyways, look at how cool this is.
I like those. I like the powder blue. I think the powder blue is such an underrated color.
So yeah, we changed our name to the Diamond Cutters because we got sponsored by a jeweler.
Oh, nice.
And honestly, I think it's really cool. But my story was, so I'm driving to the games.
Yep.
And it's getting cold out. Like 50 degrees, like 60 maybe, if we're lucky. And all I can think about is my junior year in the locker room, about to go up against my former school team, Rensselaer, and being like, look, I worked really, really hard, and I'm hoping that I can get some kind of playing time. And then I ended up doing it and being like, I need to hit somebody. And I think I got to tackle that.
Oh, you poor bud.
But we got smoked. But the thing is, this kind of weather, I don't know if it's just me, if it's you, I want to go out and like hit somebody. I want to run through like a line and go and hit somebody. I want to like make a catch. I don't know what it is, but the thing is, it gets my adrenaline going. And so when I was on my way to softball, I was like, oh my God, like, let's go. And, you know, I was pumping up the team and everything, like, let's get some runs, you know, and, you know, let's go, let's get a stop here and blah, blah, blah for, you know, when we were on defense and, or when we were on the field and stuff like that. And, you know, when I got out into the outfield, I was doing some stretches and stuff, making sure I'm all loose, you know, stuff like that. And then when I go up to bat, right, I hit the best out of like so close to getting 2 straight home runs. And I was just like, this is great. I love fall weather. So that's why we're doing this. But you're going with the number 2 overall pick.
Yeah. Well, when I said there were clear 2, football wasn't even on my mind.
Yeah.
Again, I see football as a year-long thing. We went to the draft in like February, I don't know, whenever it was, but like it's something we do all the time, so I didn't even think about that. But then the other one that I was talking about is something you were just talking about: fall weather, hoodie weather, whatever you want to call it. Speak as a big boy, for us big boys everywhere, hoodie weather is the best kind of weather. Fall weather, it's phenomenal. That was 1 and 2 when I said that. I'm glad that I took that from you.
I'm saying, okay, so if you're saying weather, I'm taking hoodies because you can't group both of those together.
Definitely you can.
No, weather
no
is cold.
Weather
is cold.
I said hoodie weather.
You said fall weather, hoodie weather. I get that, but the thing is,
do you take hoodies
or do you take the weather?
They lump together.
They don't.
You can't have one
hoodies
the other.
Is a material thing.
See where someone wear hoodies when it's 100 degrees outside. Hoodies come with the weather. That's like an attribute. No. That's an attribute of like the weather.
Are you taking hoodies or are you taking weather?
They're together. I'm taking hoodie weather, my friend.
Look, here, let me make my case. Okay. Here's the thing. Weather is colder, but it's not freezing cold winter weather in Indiana where it sucks And that's the best part about fall is that it's not super hot during the, but it's also not like terrifyingly cold. I can't be out here where I don't need a coat, but I can't wear shorts. Like this is,
So you put on a hoodie. It goes with the weather.
But that's the thing though. So like that's the type of weather that I'm describing. There's no snow. It's a little bit of colder rain if you're outside, but the thing is like normally it's pretty beautiful. Like just overall the gust of wind, the smells and stuff like that. That is the weather that you are talking about. But hoodies, the ability to wear hoodies during this time is a different thing.
No, you wear hoodies during fall, and if you wear hoodies anytime else, then it doesn't belong in the fall category. So when I say fall weather, it belongs there. I completely disagree with you. That's awful. You cannot lump sriracha and Tabasco in the same category, but then tell me you can put hoodies when I say hoodie weather.
But you can though.
How?
You can.
This is awful. We would spend hours on this.
No, because here's the thing. All right. So last draft, right? So let's see. You picked ranch first overall.
Mm-hmm.
Great Value Ranch, Hidden Valley
All ranch tastes the same. All hot sauce does not taste the same.
No, that is so wrong.
That's
buttermilk ranch. You got there's different kinds of ranch.
If you wanted to pick avocado ranch, you could. I'm talking about ranch, my friend. Not again, the difference between Hidden Value Ranch and Great Value Ranch is way different than the taste of Tabasco and sriracha or Cholula and sriracha or Frank's Red and something else. There are wide ranges of things there. I absolutely disagree with you. I'm exhausted, so we're gonna move on. This is unbelievable. You know what? Let's move on. Anyways, I think
third round pick.
Yeah, this is awful. This is a sham. Bamboozled me. Run amok. I don't know what else he says. This is tough. Can I say like holidays?
Yeah.
Or do I have to pick one over the other?
You have to pick one or the other, for sure.
All right. See, that's why I'm asking. I would like to clarify because I don't want something stolen.
You have to, because like that was like literally my next pick. It's one or the other.
Thanksgiving.
Okay. Then I'm going with Halloween because I have younger siblings and they love it. So
yeah, I like that. You know what? This is an underrated part. Like the time of day the sun sets. Okay, because during the summer it doesn't set until like 9 o'clock. That's awful.
All sunsets are beautiful, man.
Yes, I know they're awesome. So it's like sunsets time. I think it's awesome. Sunsets.
Yeah.
This time of year is awesome when you talk about the time that it sets, how it looks like with the clouds. I have a clear number 5 pick. I'm so stupid. I about told you what it was.
I'm going with flannel for my next pick. That's my.
I don't have time to get into this. Anyways, I don't have time to.
Dude, you don't wear flannels anytime else, dude. You do not wear a flannel anytime else of the year.
Yeah, and you don't wear a hoodie anytime else of the year besides when the weather happens. Anyways,
winter.
That's okay. This is false. I wear hoodies or I wear flannels all the time. I'm not even going to get into that. I was going to get into flannels and jackets should be lumped in the same category if we're going so broad. Not going to do that on this episode.
I can do that.
Don't have time
if you want to lump,
no, we're not. Okay, yeah.
If you want to lump flannels in with hoodies, then I can say another.
I'll give it to you. You can have it. Okay. Out of risk of you taking my number 5, the fact that I'm getting this at number 5. So the leaves. The fact that I got the leaves and falling off the trees and changing colors, the fact that I got that at number 5 was a snipe job.
If you have Thanksgiving,
You better not say turkey. If you say turkey or stuffing or like cranberry sauce or whatever, I'm clicking this podcast.
I'm saying pies. Give me pies.
No, pies are not a fall thing. That's false. Not happening.
I'm taking
That's
pies.
not flying. That is not flying.
Pies any other time. Give me pies.
I have pies all year round.
I don't.
All year round.
I get
just because you don't doesn't mean everyone else.
It's a pie. It's a fall thing for me.
No.
Respect my timeline, bro.
Because hoodies are a fall thing for me, and you don't respect it. Don't want to hear it. We're scratching that. That's not flying, bud. I'll let flannel slide. Pies are not flying.
Okay, all right, fine. That's stupid.
Damn. This is sham hour.
I guess I'll round it off with I don't like doing it, but carving pumpkins.
That's fair. See, we can give that. Well, that should be under. We'll give it to you. I'm just messing with you. I'm messing with you at this point. And anyways, real quick before we leave, I said I'd tell this story. Freaking the end of the podcast. I love IU again. For those who don't, weren't with us from the start. I didn't originally go to IU. I transferred to IU for this year. Best decision of my life. Again, I'm having a lot more fun, enjoying college, around friends. I get to see my girlfriend every day. I'm sick of their parking. I want to walk to the parking official and punch them in the face. So last week I got a ticket, a parking ticket, because I bought this, mind you, I paid $200 for this. I buy this parking pass, I slide it in wherever it's supposed to go. It's stadium parking. Okay. I assumed, maybe I'm an idiot, I assumed stadium parking allowed me to park in the stadium parking lot. Well, I was wrong. It allows me to park in a 200 spots when there are over 10,000 kids that commute to campus every day. So anyways, I parked into a stadium parking lot. I guess I parked in the wrong zone. Awful. Okay. So now I get to campus and I go to park in the correct zone. Well, sure enough, all the spots are filled up. So now what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to park off campus and be late to my class, or park where I'm not supposed to and risk a ticket? And it was driving me crazy. I parked off campus. I was late to class. It drives me bonkers. But the thing that drives me crazy is the stadium parking. If I pay $200 a year to park in the stadium lot, I should be able to park in the stadium lot. The easy fix to all the problems is letting
the outcast lot.
Yeah. Letting you. I wouldn't even park on campus. It's to park wherever I want in the stadium. It's the easy fix. But IU parking is a for money organization.
Hey, how about that though? IU is in the top 10 of the first college basketball rankings that are coming out.
Before IU is going to be good in basketball. I regret not buying season tickets. So, and for those who are still listening, I've yet to decide. I guess this is football related, so I guess it belongs here. Might be going to a football game outside of the one that you guys already know of. I might be going to I think it's the Colts versus Commanders on October 30th. We found tickets for $30 for that game.
Hey, that's cool. Hey, you know what? Maybe I'll look into some Colts tickets for when I'm at the never mind. It's on a Monday. Can't do that.
Yeah.
I was going to say, because I'll be going down to Indy probably for the state championships again, but I don't know. We should probably close it out. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. If you made it this far, we want to say thank you for listening all the way through. We hope you enjoyed this week's episode of the Pigskin Project. We have a lot scheduled for next week's show, including our off-season previews, not off-season, mid-season. We're going to be going over a lot of we're pretty far into the season. So anyways, and then I'm also trying to schedule a lot of guests. So stay tuned. Make sure that, you're subscribed. I just can't talk. Make sure that you're subscribed or following us on all platforms. We'd like to give a big thank you to Anchor.fm, Uppercuts Grooming, Regional Radio Sports Network, and Overtime Sports Network for helping us promote our podcast. Ben is still pointing to Overtime. Please leave a review down below, as it helps us more than you know. And that's it for this week. So thanks again for tuning in to the Pigskin Project.
Oh.